Boy, the ruble's really getting creamed against the dollar. It's down over 50% in just a year. And a lot of it has to do with oil. It's a big one. I mean, you look at oil prices, Russia has 45 to 50% of its GDP is dependent on oil exports. And now with oil losing 45% just since June, Russia's in trouble. But why is the ruble getting pounded so much? Is there something else going on behind the scenes? Hey, remember what George Soros did to the pound back in the 90s when he shorted it and drove it down? There's speculation that that's happening against the ruble as well. There's a lot of anti-Russian sentiments sweeping through America. Here, this is from CNBC. Beware Putin, the wounded animal. How's that for language? That's from Jack Novak. Vladimir Putin is not a good man and not a good leader. That's what he says. Roger Altman from Evercore Partners told CNBC, Russia is on its knees. So is this a takedown of the ruble or a shot against Putin or just the market conditions? Price wars is a big trend, a hot one for 2015. Everyone's talking about oil prices going down off over 45% in just 6 months. But it's not only oil. It's commodities across the board. It's copper. It's corn. It's silver. You could buy a ton of cabbage cheaper than you could buy a ton of reinforcement rod in China. Too much supply, not enough demand. And it's going to go beyond commodities. It's going to hit the retail sector as well. Here's the story. They've been producing, but people's incomes across the globe are going lower. The numbers speak for themselves. So you have a lot of supply, and demand is shrinking. So I can get it for you. Wholesale is going to be a big term in 2015 because people are going to watch what they spend as prices go down and incomes go down with it. Couple of things. It got in the news and out of the news really quickly. And the second thing is, who did they bring up to speak about it? The people that supported torture and the torturers. For example, Dick Cheney. He's out there everywhere. We're saying he's okay with detaining and torturing innocents. How come nobody's questioning the legality of this? And another thing, let's look at what the CIA lies have brought us. They said that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda. We attacked Iraq based on false information, and this isn't making the news. And secondly, where are the people that have been tortured? How come they're not on TV? How come we're not hearing about them? Instead, we're only hearing the people that support torture, and this is against all international laws. It's against everything this nation stands for, but yet we're only hearing one side of the story. Wow, Jeb Bush is going to throw his hat in the race. Maybe. So who do we have a choice of? Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush? How about that for change you can't believe in? More of the same, different names, same families. People are looking for something different. You know, they say that politics is show business for ugly people, and it's really turning ugly fast. Look what happened in the midterm elections. 74% of the American people stayed home rather than go to the polls. Right now, the conditions are perfect for a third-party candidate. I wrote the book Trend Tracking back in late 1980s, and I predicted that someone like Ross Perot would be a candidate in 1992. The times now are even more fertile than they were back then for a third-party candidate. 2016 may be a real race for the White House. We're not calling it alternative energy. We're calling it dominant energy. Think about it. From Julius Caesar to Grover Cleveland, the world's emperors and presidents drove to their inaugurations and coronations in horse and buggy. Then the automobile came along. It wasn't an alternative. It became dominant. Same thing with the icebox. Hey, everybody used to have ice, and then there was the Frigidaire. At one time, the Frigidaire was the alternative, and then it became dominant, And what happened? Horse and buggies and ice boxes, they're gone. Same thing's going to happen with fossil fuel. This is the breakthrough year, and it's bigger than just geothermal, biofuel, wind, or solar. There are new breakthroughs even in atomic energy. So we're going to see something really big happening. It's going to change the political landscape in the Middle East, and it's going to provide investment opportunities like we've never seen before. It's the game changer, dominant energy.